Welcome back, and in this new video we will see how combat works in Girls Frontline 2, and after that how to approach team building in the game. So first you have to deploy your units. I will deploy this for just to not one-shot everything. At the start of a game, some ability can trigger, and first thing you can see is that you can play your character in whatever order you want. There's no order based on speed. There's no speed in the game. You will always play first, and you can choose in what order. So, what's the goal? The goal will mostly be to kill every single enemy, like here. And what you can see is that every enemy has a little armor here called stability, and some symbol here that are its weakness. For example, here hydro weakness, pyro weakness. And these weaknesses here are ammo weaknesses. So each of your character will have different ammo type based on their weapon and element type. If I take, for example, Lewis. Lewis is a machine gun user, and she has 4 abilities like every door. What you can see here is a little symbol on the top left corner. This symbol is the type of ammo the ability deals damage. Type of ammo the ability use. You also have the stability damage indicate in the ability text. In the ability description, you have the stability damage. Why would you want to reduce the stability of the opponents for dealing more damage? Because the stability reduces the damage they take. It's even more true with cover. If the enemy takes cover, the stability will help him reduce damage even further. You have to know also that cover only reduce incoming damage from a certain direction. For example, if I take cover here, I will block damage from in front of me, not on the side. I will show you this later. So, how do I reduce the stability and kill the mobs? I will show you with this mob here. We'll use Litara first. So Litara here will shoot this enemy. If she wants to shoot the enemy, what will happen with this? What does a basic attack? Stability damage 2. So I will reduce the stability of the enemy by 2, and I didn't trigger any weaknesses. As you can see, the type of ammo here is not here, and there's no elemental damage associated with this ability. So I will reduce only by 2 and do a little bit of damage. That's what would happen here. If I use no Nagant basic attack deal 3 stability damage. I can see Senior is here. Senior and Management ability deal 4 stability damage. So if I use this, normally it will be 2 here. Let's see. It's wrote 0. Why it's wrote 0? If I use basic attack, it says stability damage 3, 1 here. So I deal 5, not 3. Here I deal at least 6, not 3. Why? Because there's a weakness exploit. when you exploit a weakness, you deal 2 more stability damage. And here I even kill. Okay, that's what happened here. Now, let's see if I can show you the cover. No, not for the moment, because it's not cover for the moment. So I will just go here and end my turn with this character. I will go here, shoot this one. As you can see, this one, I exploit one weakness with my basic attack. Here I can exploit another weakness with my ability, but you can exploit multiple weaknesses, like here, if I use this one, the IMO type and the elemental damage. Here I exploit 2 weaknesses instead of 1. He only had 1 stability armor, so nothing to improve here. I will advance with her and end my turn. So now it's the turn of the enemies. So I will try to kill this. So I will come here, try to kill this if possible. Yes. Because I will need to show something. Okay. Nagant, can you kill this, please? Yes. Oh, I can show you just from this here first. So as you can see here, there 25% wrote, and this little symbol, it means that he is covered. The damage are reduced. If I come from by this, so this blocks the damage. If I come here and shoot, you see that the reduction isn't here anymore, and I can deal more damage and here kill him. This is what I wanted to show you here. By coming here doing this, you see that there's reduction with the stability and reduction with the cover. If I come here, there's no reduction applied because it isn't cover. I will do this, so I will kill the one behind, and I will kill him with Lewis. Let's go. So that's how the combat works in Girls Frontline 2. You want to reduce the stability of your opponents to 0, so you can deal them more damage. Here I play, for example, an Hydro team and one random girl here that have nothing to do. So if I play, for example, an Hydro team here, as you can see, the enemies didn't have Hydro weaknesses. But there's a catch. There's a way to apply an elemental weakness to an enemy. I will show you. Oh, no, it's this one. Like this. No. You see, you have an elemental weakness here that I can exploit. For example, Tololo. I'm stupid. I did it with the basic attack. Of course, the basic attack didn't have elemental, so it just did 2. Here, I deal 3. But as you can see, I will deal 5. Here, I deal 4, so I will deal 6. How did I apply the weaknesses? I transform the tiles here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a water effect here. That means that these tiles are flowed, and when the enemy is on, he will have the hydro weaknesses that allow me to exploit a weakness that the enemy didn't have at all at the start of the fight. Okay, so I show you how to exploit weakness on enemies that didn't have the weakness you want. It's only work for elemental, not for ammo. But there's also another way to do it. For example, where it is this one. For example, some characters, without changing the tiles the enemies are on, can apply a weakness. For example, Springfield, with this key equipped, can apply an hydro weakness for 1 turn. What I want to show you just before going on the team building part of the game is that each one of your ability will also have a range represented here. If you come in your characters, what's called? No, it's not the crew deck. It's what's called this already reflecting room. And you click on your abilities, you will see that there is a description of the range. For Nikita, pretty easy. It's the same for everyone. What's the orange point? The orange point will be the damage spread. If it's single target, it will be 1 point. If like this one is an AoE, what will happen is that a dog will spawn in the center, the middle, and all the orange, it's the damage spread, basically. If I take a character that have a lot of AoE, I can come here, here. That means I can select, that's where the character stands. I can select where I want here, and it will do damage like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles of damage like this, and it's spread like that. That's for AoE, and for buff it will look like this. It's something that she applied to herself, so there are only 1 tiles white. And for buff for allies, it will look like this. So that's what I wanted to show you. You can also see your air weakness here if you want. So heavy ammo, air, and electric, for example. And that's all for the combat. I guess it's pretty simple in the game. You take covers that reduce damage based on your stability and type of cover. Of course, if it's whole body, you can basically not get shot from certain angle, and you use weaknesses not hydro, elemental and ammo type to reduce the stability of your opponent even more. So now that you know how the combat mechanic works in the game, how did you build a team to play? Sadly, there will not be a lot of possibility for the moment. Most of the team will resolve around playing the same element. You can mix match, of course, some elements, in particular where there is 5 or 6. I guess you can play 6 in some mods. I don't remember where, but I think you can. But when you play 5 characters, you can mix some element together. And I will talk about this just after. But first you will play mostly elemental team together because they They are built to be played together. Here, if I take my, for example, Springfield, that will be your hydro support, a buff, for example, here, she will apply deep-rooted bonds and overflowing care to all allied units. Deep-rooted bonds will increase the max HP, but overflowing care, what will overflowing care do? After using a command, she will deal damage. After taking damage at the end of this unit action, recover HP equal to 5%, the buff of the buff applier's attack. So when a character will deal damage, 5% of his attack will be converted into healing. If the HP are maxed out, all excess healing is converted into increased hydro damage. And hydro damage only. So of course you can play Springfield in a non-hydro team. She will be an excellent healer, a very good healer, but you will lose this hydro buff damage. And it will be this with most of the character on the game. They will apply debuffs that buff a certain element. They will apply buffs that buff a certain element, and that's why you can't really mix characters together. There are some exceptions, of course. There are characters like this one, Cheetah. It's a character that you will get for free when you start the game. You probably know that, otherwise you would not be here looking at the video. You will get her for free, and basically she is just a support. Just a good support. Blazing Assault has nothing to do with fire. It's considered a burn buff, but it didn't buff burns damage. It only increased attack by 15%. Here it's a damage, yes, a buff is just this. She didn't buff a particular element. You also have some support like Rosa that are more, how can I say this? Defense support. Rosa is really useful for reestablish. No, she protects your stability. She didn't give you stability. Yeah, she increased your defense, and I think she gains stability protection. Yes, yeah, reduce stability damage taken by 2 points. She will protect the stability of your units. There are some characters that do this. I think she's the only one to protect, actively reduce stability damage. But there's character like, for example, Springfield, that will with this one, I don't remember if it's this one. Yes, 2 points. She will recover HP and 2 points of stability for all allied units. A cleanse 1 debuff. Springfield is very strong. So there's characters that can you replenish your stability and protect your stability like Rosa. So you can play this character even if you don't get the full kit in every team. But you will play mostly single element team. When there is 5 characters, you can start mixing elements because there's not a lot of characters in the game for now. For example, Hydro team, you have these 4 here and 2 other. This one, Florence, and this one, Saori, that you didn't really play. You can, of course, play Florence in the Hydro team, but you will have one where you can put whatever you want. But what you can also do, you can also put, for example, Klukai. You will play, for example, if I wanted to play a 5-team, very strong 5-character team right now, I will put my 3 Hydro core here, my 2 DPS, Niketa and Tololo, with Springfield to buff them and heal, and I will play Klukai and Peritia if the opposite, the bosses, for example, the opposite units have corrosive weakness. For example, it's an example, and these two together are really strong. What can I put? I don't have a lot. I can play, for example, Lewis. Lewis is very interesting too in the Hydro team. This is where is a key which is say yes, this one. Now she can attach a Tin Soldier to non-burn attributed doll. So that's great. And fun fact, Lewis is meta more in Hydro team in the China version of the game. Right now they are a little bit in advance compared to us. She's meta in Hydro team more than burn team. Because Chinese soldier attacks, I think this is it, they attack when you move and attack, and basically Hydro team it just gains a lot of extra action in a turn, so that's why. But I can play with my Hydro team, for example, so I can play maybe Lewis with Vector, or Vector with Kyongchu. If the enemy didn't have a burn weakness but have Hydro weakness, I can play these 3, play Victor to apply burn weakness, and play Kyongchu. It's totally possible. But you will have to resolve around one strong element on a support one. Now that we have saw this, I will recommend you some characters to get to play general that can be played in most of the teams, even if they are not the good attribute. So we'll check for the ones I have. They will mostly be support character. So my first recommendation will be Springfield. Even if I say Springfield buff Hydro damage, she is an amazing healer, and you can play her in every team just to increase the survivability of it. For the same reason, you can play Suomi. I know that I've heard some people didn't like Suomi anymore and prefer Springfield, but they didn't do exactly the same thing. Springfield will be more in healing damage you have received, but she will not prevent a very big damage that can one-shot some of your character, for example. Suomi can, because her ultimate create a shield that can block 100% of Suomi initial attack up to a maximum of 100% of target's max HP. So she can block damage that can one-shot your teams. So she is, in my opinion, very good, and I use her a lot against enemies. I can deal a huge amount of damage. I think, yes, The other one will be Klukai. Klukai is a very good DPS. I know I said that it will be mostly support, but Klukai is a very good DPS that will allow you to clean faster campaign content, farm content, event content, basically. She's good against boss, that's not a problem, but she will mostly be here to clean the other content faster. For the character I didn't own, what could be a great pool that can be played in most team? I guess Yuhi. I know people think you need more copy of her and that outside of physical team she's not that great, but I didn't really agree with this. She's really correct. You can play her. Non-limited character, you have Tololo. If you want to play an Hydro team, she is really good. She is really good even outside, just if you need one more DPS, you can play her. She will be able to act more than one time in a turn. You can get Kyungshu. Very good if you get Vector just to splash fire units in a team. The boss has fire weakness. You want to splash some fire units because you have 3 units of the other element. You can splash. Oh, it didn't have fire weakness, sorry, but have weakness from the other element because you don't need the boss having fire weakness with Vector. You can splash these two together and it will be great. And Peritia. Peritia, it's a little bit special because you can get her in a shop. I will check this just after. I don't remember if it's a shop. You can get her somewhere that is not the gacha. She is really good with Klukai. Both together will attack a lot, but you will need, if I remember, yes, you will need yes, that's it. You will need the enemy having corrosion weakness because they didn't apply corrosion on the tiles. None of these two characters. So if the boss have a corrosion weakness and you didn't have a corrosion team, you can play another team that the boss has a weakness to, or a team that can apply its weakness by itself. Like Hydro team, it's pretty easy. You can play Niketa, Tololo, and Springfield with a key, or Niketa, Sabrina, Springfield if you don't use the key. You use Sabrina, or even just Tololo, Springfield, Sabrina if you don't have Niketa. And you can just splash these two with it and it will be great. So hope you enjoy the video. Tell me in the comments if you want me to talk about something in the game, and I will see you next time.